Good afternoon, Lunchtime Lifter listeners and viewers. We have made it to episode 7. And on episode 7, we will be finding balance with my special guest sister, Shantel Bell. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm excited about this episode because we, as Christian women, young and saved Christian women, we have a hard time finding balance, being a mother, being a wife, having a career. And I have my sister to open up the platform, and we're going to dive right into it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Yes. So every episode we take a poll. I'll put the poll out there, and I'll allow women who's feeling the topic to ask questions. So we have a list of questions, and they want some answers for maintaining balance. And we're going to dive right into it. What are some things you do to succeed as a working mom?
But before I talk about like how to succeed as a working mom, let's just tell you the hats I wear.
Yes.
I have 3 girls,
right.
Age 10, 5,
Woo!
and 2.
Okay.
So if you know anything about girls, whether you're a girl, whether you have girls, or you know girls,
yes,
you already know what girls mean.
Let's talk about it.
So, I mean, that's one aspect of it. I mean, from sports to after school to having to do homework. I mean, I know at 10 it seemed like they don't really have homework, but yes, she has homework, and I have to help her with it.
Yes.
Outside of just being a mom of 3, I'm a wife. I'm going on 7 years.
Woo! Congratulations.
So, 7 years being a wife and having to do all of that.
Yes.
You know what that is.
Right.
And then I teach. So I'm a teacher full time where I have 105 kids that I teach on a daily basis.
Wow.
So the many hats I wear, it's important for me to prioritize.
Yes.
I have to prioritize, and that's all about finding a balance, like what works for me, and being able to make adjustments as needed, because not every day is going to go the same. This Monday might be very different from next Monday.
Yes.
So I have to find the balance. I have to prioritize. Well, what's important at the moment? How can I make this the right thing to do right now? So being able to make quick decisions, but the best decisions.
Well, what does that sound like, y'all? It sounds like a Proverbs 31 woman right there. She wrote that on down. I'm taking notes for when I get there. So with all of that going on, how do you find what you enjoy with so much going on?
When I think about what I enjoy, I actually have to think about, like, well, what really makes sense right now? Because vacation sometimes is not on the menu.
Yes.
Vacation sometimes means I can't go because I just told you I wear these many hats, and I can't just up and go like somebody who doesn't have kids or somebody who only has a husband.
Right.
They can just go.
Right.
But for me, enjoyment might be really just laying out on the couch, watching TV with a blanket, and with the remote, watching my favorite shows. There are times my husband does allow me, weekly, to go have my hour, my 2 hours. And of course, the nail shop, that's always my place to go, where I let those people get, and I pay for the extra massage, or I pay for the extra time, because it is still important that even though I have all these things going on, that I still have me time. It's important that I invest in me as well, because if I'm not healthy, if I'm not whole, if I'm not in my right mind, how can I give to you, to my kids, to my students, to my husband? How can I do that if I'm not fully in control of who I am and investing in me?
Yes, and I believe she's doing an awesome job at that, because we see a lot of young, saved Christian women, and they don't look like this. They looking down, and they haven't found that balance, and it's just like, oh, wow, sometimes you can't tell that people struggling, but with our generation, you can look at them who's playing these many different hats and they look as if they're struggling.
Well, see, like when we looked at our parents, we saw like, oh, it was easy. It was easy.
Yes,
it seemed like our parents were struggling. And I think I actually came from a house where I don't think we had a lot of money, and I don't think we were poor. But my mama I never saw her struggle. I never saw her have to go from paycheck to paycheck because it just seemed like she was just doing it.
Yes.
But nowadays it's like women, they get into a bad place and they don't know how to come out of it. Yeah. They don't know how to bounce back, and it's like it's all about balance. Like everybody's balance is gonna look different because it all depends on what all you have going on. But finding that balance, finding that spot that you're in your own life, in the marathon that you're racing,
absolutely,
at your own pace, and make it easy.
Yes.
Don't overwhelm yourself. Realize your limit. Realize like, okay, I can't take that on right now.
Absolutely.
I can't do that. And sticking to that, being okay with saying no to people because you're saying yes to the right people.
Absolutely.
To the right things.
That's awesome. And I like how you brought up from back when our parents was doing it, because I can definitely relate. We were not rich, we were not poor, we were definitely the definition of middle class. And sometimes my mom would tell us that she didn't have it, but we never physically saw that she didn't have it. It was like, Mom, you got it, And it was a point where when she was unemployed, when she really went to zero, and it was just like, Mom, are we broke or are we MC Hammer broke? Like, because we was just because we were really, really confused, and that's why I'm ready to be in the position that you are. But sometimes you can think you're ready for something and you're really not. So I'm definitely in the preparing stage. Like, I'm trying to make sure I have some finances in order. I'm trying to make sure I'm balanced before I just go dive in it.
It's important that you like right now where you are, that you're thinking, because it's almost like having an if-then plan. You have to plan. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but you have to almost plan like, well, what if this goes wrong?
Yes.
What are you gonna do next? Because if you just sit there,
yes,
life is you're just gonna be in life. You're not gonna be living it. But it's almost like each day you set a goal. Hey, what's the goal for today? What's the goal for the week? What's the goal for the month? And you have an if-then plan. Like, okay, this is my goal, but if it doesn't, if this doesn't work,
yes,
what do I do? If this doesn't work, what's my next step? Like, you have to always have
that next step, that's that plan B, plan C if necessary. You sound so much like your mom. Like, it's great. She raised some really good women. And so with that being, let's see what, I like that question. How often do you have date nights with you and your husband to keep y'all, the relationship fresh?
Which is important.
Yes.
Because when you bring on kids, it almost seems like they're supposed to be the priority. It's almost like, oh, my kids are here, I got to take care of my kids. And that's true. You do have to take care of your kids. But if you take care of your kids at the expense of not spending time with your spouse, you're missing the whole point.
Yes. Because
those kids one day are going to leave, and you're going to be there with the person that you barely know because y'all have never spent time with each other. Y'all have never invested in each other. So right now, what works for us, we try to do something at least once a month. Okay. Where we get to go out.
Okay.
Where we get to go out and just kind of enjoy each other with no disturbance. We know that our kids are in good hands. We can bring them to grandma or auntie or something. Where we get to go out and just like enjoy each other outside of the house.
Okay.
Once a month. But when we can't do anything on those weekly bases, we're waiting till the kids go to sleep and we're planning our own date night at least once a week where we might just sit on the couch and we might just talk. Okay. We might just read the Bible. We might just pray. We might just watch TV. We might just be in each other's company at least once a week because I got to make sure he's good.
Absolutely.
He has to make sure I'm good. Absolutely. And then we have to make sure we're good as a couple. Because if we don't, we can't fully give to our kids. If we don't, we can't fully go to our careers and live them and do what we need to do out there, because it's when you get married.
That's really good. This is really good information.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's your life now. And so it's different. Before you get married, you can think about yourself.
Yes.
Even if you had a kid before you got married, you can think about you and that kid. But then when you bring on another person and then more kids, you have to make sure that it's all together. Because if something's missing, it's gonna fumble.
Wow. So you actually answered the next question on staying organized and balanced, because you kind of opened up with that. And so I'll just let you have the platform to give women that's in your position, but they're not in your position mentally, to balance it all out. They're struggling. What is some advice that you can give them to somewhat get back on balance?
Well, on my off days, honestly, I'm the type of girl, I use a calendar. I use a calendar because I color code. My family business is in pink.
Okay.
My work business is in blue. And it's not,
That's a teacher. She's a teacher.
It's not like I use that calendar to say, oh, this is where I have to be. But on those days where my mind is not where it needs to be, I can look down and I can say, okay, this has got to be done, this got to be done, this got to be done. I got to make sure that the kids get where they need to go, that my husband gets to that dentist appointment, that I actually stay after school for that meeting that I'm supposed to stay after school for. So I say, find you a tool that you can use and access on a daily basis. Yours might look like a journal.
Okay.
Where you can actually write your thinking down. You can actually write down your steps. You can write down your plan. But finding you a way, like I said earlier, to just get back in the race. Get back in the, because you can't look at me. You can't look at somebody on TV. Absolutely. You have to think about you and the dynamics of your own life, and not what everybody else got going on. Because if I go look at the women on TV, they all thin, they all don't have this stomach that I'm trying to work on. Right. They all, they have these perfect lives, and they can go on the beach and they can do all this stuff. But if I look at that and I idolize that, I'm not giving my people what they need. So I have to actually just look at my own life and say, well, what works for me right now? What can I actually manage right now? And I find that tool and I use it. And I don't compare myself to anybody else. I just work with what I have, because what I have is all I need.
Absolutely.
I got everything I need right here. So why look at those other things? Right. Get in my own race, stay in my own lane, and keep walking.
Absolutely. And as a single, oh my God, I've learned so much from, and this was for women playing multiple roles, but just as a single, hearing you, I've learned so much. As for, look, you do need to prepare, you do need to dive in, you need to have that plan B. You need to know, kind of before you say I do, how you gonna balance and maintain this life. Not to say that all of it is going to go perfectly, but you definitely need some steps to this. So I am honored that you came in to talk about balance on episode 7. So everybody give a round of applause to my special guest, Shantel Bell. And it's a wrap.